It was a huge breakthrough when Sigourney got nominated in a science fiction movie for Aliens in '86 as Best Actress. You know, that everybody, yeah, I mean, everybody considered that a huge breakthrough back then. You know, and so, you know, I mean, hopefully this is part of a trend of the acceptance of science fiction as a legitimate dramatic form of cinema, not a genre, but a form of drama, legitimate drama.
Hi there, big congratulations to everyone just over here.
Yeah.
I do have a
country
question,
woman.
Yes, for Sam, of course. Can you just talk about what this means to be nominated and receive an award, to be in a film that has had so much success, not only critically but also at the box office, and has your life...
I think personally it means hopefully I get another job. I grew up, you know, I was telling Jim earlier, there's a lot of people, when you stand on that stage and look out, that, you know, I rented out at a video store. And to be actually part of something, especially something as bold and as courageous as Avatar is, that is being embraced by a hell of a lot of people, mate. It's extremely humbling, but it also kind of, you know, puts into perspective that, you know, you put in the hard yards, it can pay off, and this bloke works harder than anyone I've ever met, and you know, the proof's in the pudding. So.
And
so does Sam. Trust me on that.
So many people have obviously seen the film. Has your life started to change a little bit? Are you being more recognised?
I get through customs easier, which is they don't pull out the rubber glove anymore.
James here, right here.
Where? Wave. Oh, okay, yeah.
Your response to the criticism some criticism that the film has had, that it criticizes the military.
Mm-hmm. Well, look. First of all, I think it's very interesting that a major Hollywood commercial film is in some way controversial, whether it's the environmental theme or some of the political themes in the film. I do want to clarify something, though. We've been criticized as being anti-military, and I think we need to narrow that to what I think the film is specifically saying, which is it's anti the inappropriate use of military force. Because let's not forget something. Our main character, played by Sam, is a former Marine, and everything about him celebrates the Marine Corps and their core value system, and he is a hero, a man of great courage throughout the film, and he actually evinces the qualities that the Marine Corps are teaching their men now, men and women, which is to adapt to the local culture and enlist their aid and try to understand them, try to see them, you know. So he does that, and I think you need to look to the hero of the movie, not the nemesis of the movie, for what the value system of the filmmaker is, because I can't think of a better tribute to the American fighting man than to make the main character of our, you know, multi-hundred-million-dollar movie a former Marine, and to have him wear the Globe and Anchor T-shirt. So you got to look past simplistic stuff, which people tend to be very simplistic. They see a bunch of guys in uniforms with guns, and they're the bad guys in it, and you know what I mean? They got to look to a slightly deeper level of complexity. That's what I would say. Now, I personally believe that there has been the inappropriate use of military force in our recent history. I believe in a strong defense, and I believe that the American Armed Services are the absolute best in the world, best trained, best equipped, and best supported at home. But you know, we also have to open our eyes. We have to look at when political leaders make decisions to put these men and women on the ground in the wrong place at the wrong time for the wrong reason. And that's what the movie asks us to do. And by the way, I'm not just talking about recent history. I'm talking about the whole history of the human race from back in, you know, Roman and Greek times through the colonial period. You know, I mean, I think the references are pretty clear. Anyway, this is a celebratory night, and I probably shouldn't go off on this, but I do think that it's interesting that you've got this big kind of commercial film that's touching people around the world, and yet has all these interesting controversial conversations within it, you know, and I'm happy to have those conversations. Maybe not right now, though. Doesn't feel like the
Mr.
right
Cameron,
moment.
It's Scott Feinberg.
Oh, hi, how you doing?
How are you? Congratulations. So
Thanks.
12 years after Titanic, you're back on top with critically and commercial success, another great critical and commercial success. Is it fair to say you're still the king of the world?
I don't know, man. This is a trip because, you know, at the time of Titanic, and probably about the time we won the Golden Globe for director and picture on dramatic picture on Titanic, and we were, you know, well on our way to being #1 at that time box office. I'm thinking, enjoy this ride. It is never going to happen again, you know. And we went into Avatar thinking, all right, we're going to go for a commercial hit. We're going to go for a shameless engine of commerce, right? We're just there to make money. We're not going to try to impress the critics. Screw that. We've been down that road. It's a nightmare. You know, you got to wear a tux all the time. It's horrible. And here we are again. What the hell did we do?
You wrote a script.
You know, when the dust clears on this baby, then we're going to sit down and map out some kind of a strategy. You know, what's in play, ideas that are in the mix are a second Avatar picture, because we have some ideas for that, and we have a great team put together, our technical team. I mean, it's like a family. I mean, I've said this a lot, and people think it's just kind of like, oh, you're just kind of casting a rosy light on it retroactively. But we became a family on this film. The cast, it's the closest cast I've ever worked with, and the closest with us. It's the closest group of technical people and crew. I mean, you know, some of the crew that we worked with on the virtual production, you know, we were basically locked in a gray room together for 3 years. So you either get along or there's blood on the floor at the end of that time.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, well, that too, you know, it's just like being, you know, in a
James?
penitentiary with the same people for a long time.
Hi, over here.
Hello.
After the success of Avatar, would you be interested in the next couple of years in doing an extremely low-budget indie-type film?
I have a more modestly budgeted film that's a straight drama called The Dive, which, you know, I have an excellent script, and it's a possibility that I might look at that either between this and the next one or right after the next one. We have to map out a strategy. It's kind of too soon. We're still you know, kind of in shock from what's happening with Avatar, and we haven't been able to get off this ride yet. You know, this roller coaster ain't stopping.
And don't let
Hello,
us
can
get
we
off.
have a question? Can we have a question in Spanish, please, for Ms. Lanyan? Hola.
Yes.
Felicidades. Si nos puede decir en español un poco de cómo fue toda esa experiencia de trabajar con el equipo y trabajar en ese proyecto y cómo se siente esa noche.
Yo creo que como artista y también como mujer en esta industria, son muy pocas las veces que uno tiene la experiencia de sentirse completamente sólida y presente y considerada y respetada en un set y el yo poder decir que como mujer y como actriz he trabajado con un hombre director que no solamente es conocido por decir historias bien bonitas, pero también por challenge, retar su propia gravedad artística. Y también por darle a las mujeres en Hollywood papeles excepcionales. Y eso fue la solidaridad del equipo en este set. Fue algo completamente maravilloso que solamente con estos premios y estos galardones que estamos recibiendo, simplemente nos da la prueba de que cuando volvamos otra vez y con Dios por delante va a ser fenomenal, porque creamos una familia, una unidad fenomenal.
James, on such a celebratory evening when you're celebrating this tremendous film, do you have any thoughts about the tremendous real-life plight that people are experiencing in Haiti right now?
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of dichotomy of the heart when you're having such a spectacular evening. You think about how fortunate you are, and I can't imagine being more fortunate than I am, and that we all are right now. And you can't think of anybody on the planet as a group of people that are less fortunate right now, you know, than the people in Haiti. And I think, you know, look, as the Hollywood community has always been great, and you know, look, part of it's liberal guilt, part of it is we you know, generally as a community have a really big heart. And we do want to make a difference, and I'm sure we will, absolutely, and I know I will do my part as well. It's just, it's so heartbreaking. I mean, I wish I could get on a plane and go down there and help pass out food. I know from my experience trying to help with the hurricanes, the two big hurricanes, Katrina, and some other disasters that have taken place in the United States. You try to get to the front lines to help, and you get in the way, and they don't want to do it that way. They just want you to send money to some charity that takes 70% of it for administration, and I hate that too. So there have to be better ways to do it. I would submit, though, since I have a little bit of a pulpit here for 30 seconds, that the big problem that we've seen with the Katrina disaster and with the tsunami in Indonesia and with what's happening now in Haiti is that the first thing that happens is the infrastructure just completely collapses. And I would pose the question that why can we put a special ops force on the ground with such great effectiveness to go after a military objective, and somehow it eludes us to have the same kind of ready-to-go force that can get in and set up a temporary infrastructure to help out in this type of situation. And that needs to be dealt with, not just at a national level, but at an international level. We need that. We don't have it, and we need it. And it's stupid not to have it.